Hello, class. Political parties are essential to democratic government. In the United States, political parties have shaped the way the government works. Today, the major political parties perform several important functions without which our government could not survive. So today we're going to define the words political party, and we're going to identify the functions of political parties. You need to understand the vocabulary, which is political party, major parties, partisanship, and party in power. There's a saying that says, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. This was from legendary football coach Vince Lombardi. Lombardi was talking about teams in the National Football League. His words, however, can also be used to describe the Republican and Democratic parties. They, too, are in the business of competing and winning. What is a political party? A political party is a group of persons who seek to control government through the winning of elections and the holding of public offices. This definition of political party is broad enough to fit any political party. It certainly describes the two major parties in American politics, the Republican and the Democratic parties. Another more specific definition can be used to describe most political parties, both here and abroad. That is, a political party is a group of persons joined together on the basis of common principles who seek to control government in order to affect certain public policies and programs. Again, a political party is a group of persons joined together on the basis of common principles who seek to control government in order to affect certain public policies and programs. This definition, with its emphasis on principles of public policy positions, will not fit the two major American parties, however. The Republican and Democratic parties are not primarily principle or issue orientated. They are instead election orientated. Political party functions. It is clear from American history, as well as from the histories of other people, that political parties are essential to democratic government. Parties are the major mechanism behind the development of broad policy and leadership choices. They are the medium through which those options are presented to the people. Political parties are a vital link between the people and their government, that is, between the governed and those who govern them. Many observers argue that political parties are the principal means by which the will of the people is made known to government and by which government is held accountable to the people. Parties serve the democratic ideal in another important way. They work to blunt conflict. They are power brokers. Political parties bring conflicting groups together. They modify and encourage compromise among the contending views of different interests and groups, and so help to unify, rather than divide, the American people. They soften the impact of extremists at both ends of the political spectrum. Again, political parties are indispensable to American government. This fact is underscored by the major functions they perform. The first of these functions is nominating candidates. The major function of a political party is to nominate or name candidates for public office. That is, the parties select candidates and then present them to the voters. Then the parties work to help their candidates win elections. To have a functioning democracy, there must be a procedure for finding, that is, recruiting and choosing candidates for office. There must also be a mechanism for gathering support, or votes, for those candidates. Parties are the best device yet found to do those jobs. The nominating function is almost exclusively a party function in the United States. It is the one activity that most clearly sets political parties apart from other groups operating in politics. Informing and activating supporters. Parties inform the people and inspire and activate their interest in participation in public affairs. Other groups also perform this function, in particular the news media and interest groups. Parties try to inform and inspire voters in several ways. Primarily, they campaign for their candidates, take stands on issues, and criticize the candidates and the positions of their opponents. Each party tries to inform the people as it thinks they should be informed, to its own advantage. For example, a party selects information in order to present its own positions and candidates in the best light possible. It conducts this educational quote-unquote process through pamphlets, signs, buttons, and stickers with advertisements in newspapers and magazines, on the radio, television, the internet, in speeches, rallies, and conventions, and in many other ways. Remember, both parties want to win elections, and that consideration has much to do with the stands they take on most issues. Both parties try to shape positions that will attract as many voters as possible, and that will, at the same time, offend as few voters as possible. The bonding agent function. A bond is an insurance agreement protecting a person or a business against loss caused by a third party. In a sense, a political party acts as a bonding agent to ensure the good performance of its candidates and office holders. In choosing its candidates, the party tries to make sure that they are men and women who are both qualified and of good character, or at least that their candidates are not unqualified and have no serious blemishes on their records. The party also promotes its successful candidates to perform well in office. The democratic process imposes this bonding agent function on a party, whether the party really wants to perform it or not. If it fails to assume this responsibility, both the party and its candidates may suffer the consequences in future elections. Governing. In several respects, government in the United States is government by party. For example, public office holders, those who govern, are regularly chosen on the basis of party. Congress and the state legislatures are organized on party lines, and they conduct much of their business based on partisanship. This means that firm allegiance to a political party is the basis for governmental action. In addition, most appointments to executive offices at both the federal and state levels are made with an eye to party considerations. In yet another sense, parties provide a basis for the conduct of government. In the complicated separation of powers arrangement, the executive and legislative branches must cooperate with one another if government is to accomplish anything. It is political parties that regularly provide the channels through which those two branches are able to work together. Political parties have played a significant role in the process of constitutional change by informal amendment. Consider this important example. The Constitution's cumbersome system for electing the president works principally because political parties reshape it in its early years and have made it work ever since. Acting as watchdog. Parties act as watchdogs over the conduct of the public's business. This is particularly true of the parties out of power. It plays this role as it criticizes the policies and behavior of the party in power. In American politics, the party in power is the party that controls the executive branch of government, the presidency at the national level, or the governorship at the state level. In effect, the party out of power attempts to convince the voters that they should throw the rascals out, that the outs should become the ins and the ins the outs. The scrutiny and criticism by the out party tends to make the rascals more careful of their public charge and more responsive to the wishes and concerns of the people. In short, the party out of power plays the important role of the loyal opposition, opposed to the party in power but loyal to the people and the nation.